What is the dark night of the soul? In this video, I'm going to discuss the various types of the dark night of the soul from my perspective and shed a little bit of light on what's really going on. So stay tuned. Thank you everybody for joining me. I wanted to do a video on the dark night of the soul. I haven't done one before on this topic. There's a lot of information out there, but I think I have a little bit of a unique perspective being through it numerous times. I've learned a lot, especially this last one that's come through with this December energy. I'm coming out of a little bit of one myself. So I wanted to shed a little light on it, and hopefully this resonates with you. So I tend to see two different types of what we could term as a dark night of the soul. And the first type, I think, is relating to a very strong, significant shock to your system, to an event, an external event. Something takes place. And a lot of times this occurs when people who are not spiritually awake, people who are more 3D oriented, maybe people are more following the religion path, just have not really opened up spiritually back to their roots, to their higher self, and are not in tune with their energy. They receive a shock to the system. Maybe it's the death of a loved one, or the death of a parent or a pet, or some sort of a crisis occurs that they just feel like they've lost all meaning to life. They just don't know how to move forward. Nothing makes sense. It totally shakes them, takes them off their projected path that their ego had them on, and they're just kind of just in no man's land. They just don't know what to do and can't handle this crisis. It's like all your beliefs kind of just go up in the air and go up in smoke, and you're left thinking to yourself, wow, what does this all mean? That's one type of dark night of the soul, and I did go through something similar to that when I had some losses in my life a few years ago, and that led to my awakening, actually, after that period. So that type of a dark night of the soul can actually lead to an awakening, and these events that occur in your life are all set up to put you into that situation so that you can emerge and can reconnect with your higher self. So that's one type. The other type of the dark night of the soul, which those of you that are awakened probably are familiar with this one, but you're connected to your higher self, you're connected with your guides, you kind of got a good handle on what's going on, you're clearing, you're going through the cycles, you're grounding new energy, you're grounding your higher self, and you're clearing, you're expanding your consciousness, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're just taken out of the game. Everything just seems to stop, and almost like it goes away. Now, I did a video on that a little while ago on feeling disconnected, but I want to dive a little bit deeper into what I believe is really happening here, because when we're thrown in, we're kind of cut off, and we know really we're not cut off, right? But there's processes going on with the ego, and there's an ego death. We're shedding these layers, and these beliefs are coming up to be released, and we're going through the process of releasing. And when these feelings come up, we kind of get thrust out into our energetic body, into our mental body even, and we're identifying with these thoughts. So that very process of being thrusted out, our energy's scattered out because of the clearing, we're getting into these processes and we're not feeling very connected, and that's because we're not centered. And during this period of this type of a dark night of the soul, I have come to realize that I can do my work and I could get back centered, and I could actually just recenter myself pretty much instantly. But the communication that I had before with my guides is different. And basically what it is Um, as we grow, we realize that our guides are us. So our guides are actually integrated in with us as we expand our consciousness. Essentially, we're pulling these external factors, and we've seen our guides as external, we're pulling them into us, and they're actually reintegrating and coming down and grounding into the body as part of us. So the mind wants to look external, but in fact, they are us. So the information that we received externally from them in the past simply now flows out through us. So during this period of this type of a dark night of the soul, when we're feeling disconnected, we are really almost like taking the training wheels off, right? We're being put in a situation where we no longer have the training wheels. We no longer have the externalness of our guides. We're kind of left to use what we've learned and to rely and trust on what we know, that we are all one, and actually start bringing this information forth through us as one, instead of looking to our guides as external to receive. I liken it to when I was training to be a pilot. When I was working to get my pilot's license years ago, I would go up with my instructor and we would fly, and we did this for a lot of hours as I learned how to land and take off and do maneuvers and that stalls and that kind of thing. And then one day, I landed, and my instructor said, "Pull over." I pulled over. He goes, "I'm getting out of the plane. You're going to fly solo." And your heart sinks, right? You know it's coming, but it's still that feeling of, oh no, now I'm going to be up there all by myself. What do I do? Well, you know what to do because you've had the experiences, you've grounded the knowledge, you've worked with your guides, but now it's time to kind of take the mantle on your own, to step into your power and to be your power. And when my instructor got out of the plane, I mustered up the confidence, relied on, trusted on the training that I had to move forward and to fly the plane by myself. And essentially, this type of dark night of the soul, after, if somebody has awakened, you go through this multiple times. After we download, these dark nights are really periods of integration, right? Where we're relying on what we've downloaded and integrated we need to start living it. We need to become it. We need to start, it's got to manifest from us in our daily life. And we're left really with our presence and with ourself and with our power as stand here as one to start living that way and from that power as our higher self. So we need to trust in the process. When you've awakened and you're going through these periods of feeling cut off, just know that you've lost nothing. Everything you have, everything you've known and more is in you. And you need to start trusting, just like I did as a student pilot. I need to trust what I've learned, trust what I've downloaded, and trust what I've integrated previously and what I know, and use my tools in that knowing to do my work and to continue to go through the processes of clearing and downloading and expanding and clearing, and just trust that the knowing and everything that I had received from my guides is within me. And that is the key, is to move forward and to walk as the powerful spiritual being that you are, and start living your life as your higher self. And that is what the dark night of the soul teaches us. And the next time you feel that you're going through one, keep this in mind, and you will emerge from it more powerfully more connected, and more grounded than you were before. So if this resonates with you, please leave a like and a comment, and go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Click the notification bell so that you don't miss future videos. Thank you so much